Hey guys. Um, it seems like all of my videos start with an apology, but I haven't played the game for quite a while, and it took me a little bit longer than I thought to get back up to date with all the new stuffs and changes, and I wanted to test a few things before I come to you guys. So yeah, hi. Let's start off with the most significant change in 3.9 with this build, and that is we now have our own single target, which is Power Siphon, thanks to the new support gem Barrage. If you're playing, or if you still have this Wander and playing this Wander in Standard League, you can still use the Barrage skill gem, but you don't have to. And the great thing about Power Siphon as a single target is, in terms of cost efficiency, we don't share the same helmet enchant with bow users. So therefore, the helmet enchant should be a lot cheaper, which is a great thing, I think. Yeah. So what Barrage support does is it's channeling all those projectiles into one direction. So Power Siphon now pretty much works mechanically like Barrage, the skill gem. And the great thing about Power Siphon is it's a really powerful gem, as the name says, which means that we can start playing Wander a lot earlier, and yeah, we don't need all the shenanigans we used to have and deal with the old Barrage skill gem. So you don't need Dying Sun, Helmet, Enchant, and all that stuff to make the skill feel good. Obviously, mainly in the lower tiers. Later tiers you wanna get the better stuff, but it's a lot easier and a lot less stressful to get this build going and to have a decent single target skill. Yeah, Power Siphon, a really strong skill gem. It has Sculling Strike in it. It has Power Charge Generation in it, also against bosses. Plus, you get crit chance and crit multiplier per power charge. So it's actually efficient with this skill to get additional power charges, whether it's on gear or the passive tree, which I really like. Pardon. Yeah, there's also the new inspiration or inspirational support gem. The way this skill gem works is you generate up to 5 inspirational charges, and per charge you get more elemental damage and crit chance. But in terms of DPS, Energy Leech Gem is still better, at least for my characters. But that's not really the topic I try to hit here. The thing is, with Power Siphon as our new single target gem, which is a blue gem, we now have a lot of yeah, off colors on the Queen of the Forest, which means that getting those colors is, well, it's a pain in the ass, isn't it? Let's face it. So until you get the ability like I did to get a white socket or have enough chromatics to yeah, actually try to hit those off colors, you can pretty much use what you have and what you get. If you got like 2 green gems, 2 green sockets and 3 blue, 1 red, you can use slower projectiles. If you get a red socket, you can inspiration. You get the idea, you know. That's the thing. That's I think a problem this build will always have, to get the right colors on the chest piece. Yeah, well, that's what I want to talk about. What I also saw on what I saw on Path of PoE Ninja was that many people use a cast damage taken wave on conviction setup. The way conviction works is the enemies that got hit by it get an exposure which applies minus 25% elemental resistances to the highest damage they have taken. And since I only spent points in the passive tree into like elemental damage, projectile damage, or lightning damage, Waveform Conviction deals the most on this setup lightning damage. So it's a really nice DPS boost. It's like the Wise Oak in 2 gems, and I think that's a great thing. Also, since they beefed monsters heavily, or especially bosses in this game, and no, we don't really have to talk about the great idea of black on metamorph encounters or red on red at Cyrus. Yeah, I'm using steel skin, and I definitely recommend using something like this or molten shell to get this build tankier, since yeah, they beefed up the damage or the health pool at least quite a lot, and we are getting shredded out there. That's kind of a sad thing actually. I mean, now we have the ability to make the Wander a lot easier and cheaper, but now we are encountering a lot more dangerous boss fights. Oh well. But yeah, let's get back to this build. As you can see, I'm not using a Dying Sun, and the reason for that is, it's not that Dying Sun isn't great anymore, but we get a lot of projectiles from Power Siphon and the Barrage support and the Helmet enchant, which means that getting more projectiles isn't that effective, at least cost effective. It's still in the end, with the 50% Flask effect threshold, better to swap to a Dying Sun, but since the Dying Sun itself costs, I don't know, around 4 or 5 exalts, I really tried to avoid it and play a cheaper version of the build, and it works totally fine. So yeah, and this also means, since we don't have to do this 50% Flask effect shenanigans, we are now a lot more flexible in terms of gearing and in the passive tree, since you don't have to. I still did to a certain amount, but you can, for example, skip some of the Flask effective stuff nodes to get other sources of damage or life. In the end, this is like a build guide. It's not a religion. So if you feel like swapping something out for something else, go for it. I have no problems with it. The most important thing is that the Wander you play needs to feel good for yourself, you know? Yeah, okay. I think I covered most of that. Now let's get to the possible crafting options with the new Conquerors or endgame bosses. Yeah, I got a bit unlucky. For example, let me scroll down on my cheat sheet. Where is it? Oh yeah. So I bought this wand. I was really lucky actually with buying this wand. I paid only 40 chaos for it, and this is now what is it? Crusader influenced. It didn't have the added lightning damage to spells, and it had 4% less lightning penetration. The penetration you see here is the temple mod. There's the first one. Don Topotantes. And I had like 5 options with the Crusader Exalted Orb. 2 were pretty much bad. One is the gain physical as extra lightning, and the other one is physical damage. Then there is the attacks that penetrate lightning resistance and increased lightning damage. And the 5th one was added to spells and a little bit of elemental penetration. And that's the one I got. So I could have been really lucky. Definitely check out those possibilities with the new Conqueror's Exalted Orbs. The other thing I pretty much got really unlucky is the helmet slot. So there were only let me check. Oh, where is it? Oh, 3 options with the Warlord's Exalted Orb. I had a prefix open on this one. Which one was it? Power charges, elemental damage with attacks, or increased elemental damage, and physical damage taken as fire damage. Which one did I got? Fist taken as fire. I mean, it's a really good stat since we are evasion based and don't really mitigate physical damage, but those exalters are pretty costly, and hitting something like that that you basically can craft on it, yeah, it did hurt. But that's a great thing. I mean, you still can. I'd still recommend trying it, and also you can, before you do that, fossil craft a helmet to get the minus 9% lightning resistance to nearby enemies. I think it's the metallic for lightning rolls fossil. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. Another point is the helmet slot, the amulet slot. I'm sorry. So here what I did was I anointed Profane Chemistry, which is life and flask effectiveness. If you want to go more in the damage route, you can take Prism Weave, which is elemental penetration and elemental damage for once. And after that I went into the safe house and got really lucky converting it into a talisman, and I got the 10% increased attack speed. So yeah, it's also, here's the thing, converting it to a talisman is a lot of gambling, but it can be, it can turn out really great. Just imagine a talisman with like increased crit multipliers and implicit. That would have been really crazy, and in total you can reach crit multiplier amounts on the amulet slot this way that you can only get with legacy amulets in standard, which is yeah something really great to be able to get in the Temp League. And last thing that I can't show you sadly on my character, which I'm trying to get, is we now can get elusive on crit on boots, and tailwind if we hit or crit, I don't know. And tailwind is like 1000 evasion and more attack speed. Oh no, action speed is the right thing, right? So more attack speed and movement speed. And elusive is movement speed and 20% chance to dodge spells and attacks, which is more than we can get from series steps. Yeah, that's something you can get, maybe you have it already. And this is also something I really like about this league. We have now so many crafting options. So yeah, a lot of things we can do with this build to make it better, to improve it. Yeah, I hope I covered all. If I forgot something, or if there's something you still want to know, yeah, let me know, write it down in the comments or in the build guide forum. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck playing Wonder or playing in the Blight League. Not Blight League, I'm sorry, Metamorph League. Yeah, bye bye.